Och då kör vi! Välkomna till Nordstan, där vi nu ska starta ett alldeles nytt event som heter Johanna-klippet. Initiativtagaren till detta klipp var Maria Lindholm, och hon kommer nu att berätta om denna idé. Men det blir på engelska.
I was going to do this in Swedish, but I thought speaking from the heart was better with English, so do it that way. The idea came about a year ago. I actually, about 10 years ago, cut my hair for a program in the States where you donate your hair to make free wigs. And my hair was getting longer, and I started to think, you know, I'd like to do it again. I hadn't colored it or permed it or put any other chemicals in, so I thought, you know, I'd like to do this again, and looked around in Sweden for such a program because I wasn't planning on going to the States for a while, and decided that I want to do it here where I live in Sweden. But I couldn't find anything. I thought, there must be something. Looked, and then I was already associated with Bröstcancerföreningen Johanna, and there was actually a conversation on Facebook with Maria and Annika, someone who was speaking later, and someone was saying, oh, they wanted to donate their hair. And I got into the conversation and said, oh, we should have something like this. And I thought about it, and about a month later I contacted Maria, who was then director of Breast Cancer Association, Johanna, and said, you know what can we do? I have hair I want to donate. I'm sure there are other people that want to do this as well. So we sat and talked and said, how, I researched it a little bit and realized in Sweden, at least in the Västra Götalands landsting, you get 8,000 crowns for wigs. So it's actually, it doesn't have the same relevance as it does in the States or in other places in the world where, you know, people don't always get the wigs. They don't always have the money to get the wigs. So talking it out with Maria, we thought, you know, if we do this for something else that's needed, it doesn't always get the same kind of support that material things like wigs and medicine get, which is psychosocial support. So we thought, we can raise the money. I'd already contacted a wig maker, and for every centimeter you get 15 crowns. So the time, I thought, maybe you need at least 30 centimeters, so that's 450 crowns right there. So that money, we thought, that would go directly to Bröstcancerföreningen Johanna. So that's what we started with. And luckily, they were right next door to a fantastic medical marketing company, Linda Partners, who thought, you know what, let's help with this. And we sat down, had a meeting, and we started to talk more and more about the psychosocial support. We had this conversation of what should we do? Should we highlight the wig? Should we highlight the hair? Should we highlight people that keep their hair natural? And then Maria started talking about, she was interviewed that morning actually for the need for psychosocial support, and it just grew from there. And then we knew what focus we had. We'd be cutting hair, donating it to get people in, to make a bit of money. But the real star of the show is highlighting the need for psychosocial support for breast cancer patients, which Bröstcancerföreningen Johanna does a fantastic job with, not only for supporting the women themselves and men that are going through breast cancer, but their family members, their children, their spouses. And this needs to get more support, and we need to show the world that this needs more support. And a little bit of that will come through hair donations, and a little bit will come through just people finding out more about it, realizing that this isn't something that's always taken care of. You know, the medicine is taken care of, the wigs are taken care of, and there are a lot of practical things that Sweden does fantastically with taking care of. But this is something that needs to now come up, is the need for psychosocial support. And I just want to say, I got to know Maria from Bröstcancerföreningen Johanna when I was working with, still working Heart Pillow Project of Sweden. And I just want to say I've always liked to do volunteer things, and I think I can attribute that to lifelong example from my parents, always giving what they can give all the time. And for my mother, who is now on her 25th year working with a charity that helps homeless. And I just want to say, happy birthday, Mom, today, 80 years.
Oh, fantastic birthday present, Jen.
Yeah.
Be so proud of your daughter. It's been a great experience doing this. We thought it'd be very small and now it's very big. Då vill jag välkomna ordförande i Bröstcancerföreningen, Johanna Rosmarie Fredriksson.